Hurricane Elsa is slamming the Windward Islands. Good afternoon, I'm Mike Naso with the latest on the first hurricane of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, Hurricane Elsa. If you saw the video update about 12 hours ago, we had a strengthening tropical storm. I didn't like the looks of it, and sure enough, it has deepened into the first hurricane of the season, still moving very, very quickly towards the west and west-northwest. You can see it there moving over areas of St. Vincent in the St. Vincent Grenadine area of the Windward Islands. Again, it does have an uncertain future as far as track and intensity. We'll talk about all that. Here's the latest on our hurricane, Hurricane Elsa, as of 11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time from the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane was at 13.4 north, 61.2 west, but it's moving west-northwest at 29 miles per hour, so by the time you see this video, it's probably already zoomed past this location. At the time of the recording, it's about noon, and we have the center right near St. Vincent. It's 75 miles per hour. It's a Category 1 hurricane, but it created some strong, gusty winds on Barbados, and now on the island of St. Lucia, they had a wind gust to almost 80 miles per hour. You can see the tropical storm force winds extend very far to the north throughout most of the Windward and into the Leeward Islands. The forecast does continue it as a hurricane all the way to the southern coast of Haiti and the eastern areas of Cuba. By Saturday night, Sunday morning, Jamaica, you guys need to be on the alert. After that, it's more uncertain, but we think it will eventually turn in the general direction of western Cuba and Florida, but there's a lot of time to watch that. I did want to note we do have a lot of watches and warnings. I'll go down the list. We have a hurricane warning for St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the southern portion of Haiti from Port-au-Prince to the southern border of the Dominican Republic, and we just now had a hurricane warning issued for the south coast of the Dominican Republic to the border of Haiti. And we also have tropical storm warnings, obviously, for Barbados, Martinique, Dominica, the southern coast of the Dominican Republic, Haiti coast north of Port-au-Prince, and Jamaica. And the southern coast of Haiti and Jamaica are also under a hurricane watch. We have tropical storm watches for areas still of Grenada to the south here of where the hurricane is. Again, the forecast does seem to bring it zooming through the Caribbean, so it shouldn't impact land for the next 36 to 48 hours, and it will be over open water, but it is moving so fast. Look at that visible satellite imagery. The center of the hurricane just passing right over St. Vincent, just on the northern coast. There's Barbados, obviously, so it did impact these southern islands. St. Lucia, you guys are getting hammered with gusty winds. Martinique, a little further to the north, not as badly, but still definitely a hit for Barbados and St. Vincent with this early season July hurricane, the first of the year. You can see it's already passing the island of St. Vincent. In fact, if we look at the radar, this is the radar out of Barbados, and look at, there's the eye of the hurricane coiling up there. It's very fragile. This is a very small inner core moving very, very quickly, but definitely some good winds in that northern side, and there is the island of St. Lucia. So you guys in St. Lucia just got hammered as the hurricane moved right over the island of St. Vincent. So St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Barbados, definitely a nasty day as you guys were hit with a hurricane today. Here's the upper level wind shear, and you can see it's not half as bad as it was the other day. If you were watching these updates, it was horrendous. It does have a lot of shear, though, in part due to the fast motion. There's such high pressure to the north, zooming this thing almost 30 miles an hour west, that the background pressures are high. So when the Air Force flew out there today, they found pressures more likely that you'd see in a minimal tropical storm, not a hurricane. I've seen that before, but it is rare. Nevertheless, still obviously with those winds, a nasty little hurricane moving through the southern windwards. The upper level wind shear should be okay the next couple of days. It'll be land interaction and possible increases in wind shear later on that could cause Elsa problems. Here's the European ensembles, and I have to say, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in the European. It did not latch onto this system well at all, didn't give us any indication of tropical genesis, didn't give us any indication of a hurricane, and it shows Elsa getting caught up over Haiti and eastern Cuba, and most of its members here move to the east of Florida. It seems if it stays weak, it might get caught up and move more north. However, if it stays further south, that means it's probably a stronger hurricane, and we'd have to deal with it. The GFS, the 0Z ensembles, 6Z, show a more realistic track towards the west-northwest, pretty much right over Jamaica, and then a lot of them diverge. Some do have it turning north into the Keys and Florida, right up the peninsula. Others keep it more towards areas of Cancun. Western Cuba, you guys got to be on the alert. And if you're on the North Gulf Coast here, anywhere from, Plaquemines Parish all the way over to the Big Bend of Florida, I want you guys overlooking your hurricane plans just in case we have a hurricane headed up towards the Gulf Coast in a couple of days. You don't know yet. I certainly didn't think, and nobody did, that this system would be a potent hurricane over the island of St. Vincent by Friday. There's another look at the infrared. Not as impressive as it was bursting earlier, but the center is right about in here, so it is embedded in deep convection still, and it still has some very nice upper-level outflow. I'm impressed with it. However, that fast motion, if it could slow down, it slowed down a little bit last night from 29 to 26, now it's back up to 29, and it's that high pressure to the north just shunting it towards the west-northwest very, very quickly. The key messages with Elsa: number one, hurricane conditions are expected in that hurricane warning area in the next few hours. They're occurring areas of St. Lucia, St. Vincent. Tropical storm conditions expected in other portions of the Windward and Leeward Islands. Hurricane conditions expected in Haiti Saturday, and tropical storm conditions and possible hurricane conditions on the southern coast of the Dominican and in Jamaica. Number two, heavy rainfall is moving quickly, but those outer rain bands in Puerto Rico, Tomorrow, Hispaniola, Jamaica, that could still cause flooding and mudslides. Number three, an increasing risk of strong winds, storm surge, and rainfall in areas of Cuba and possibly in the Turks, Caicos, and Bahamas. Early next week, they need to monitor Elsa's progress. And finally, there is a risk of storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts in the Florida Keys and portions of the Florida Peninsula early next week. However, the uncertainty remains larger than usual due to Elsa's potential impact with the Greater Antilles. Interests in Florida should monitor Hurricane Elsa. Again, we don't know the exact track or intensity. If the system stays over water, it could be much stronger. If it stays over land, it could be much weaker. There's a lot of variables at play here. So in the final analysis, early this afternoon, this Friday afternoon, Hurricane Elsa, the first hurricane of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, shunting its way very quickly through the southern Windward Islands, currently near St. Vincent, as a Category 1 hurricane. The forecast keeps it moving in the general direction of Haiti, Jamaica, and eastern Cuba in the next 36 to 48 hours. Hurricane warnings out. From there, if you're in areas of western Cuba, the Yucatan, Turks, Caicos, the Bahamas, Florida, even the Northeast Gulf, you guys need to watch Hurricane Elsa very, very carefully. I'm Mike Naso with the latest on this hurricane. Stay tuned for further updates on this YouTube channel.